Hello, everyone. It's Thursday, 7:30. Time for Lit Life. Oh, and I see my guest has waved, and I want to make sure Yes. Hello, hello. You would think that after 10 weeks, I would read how to let somebody in, right? You would think. Yes. Except. Yes. Hello, hello. All right. I know I accepted my guest. All right. I'm doing it once again. JW, can you hear me? I saw where you tried to join. Hi. Hi, how are you? Well, JW, I really want to let you into the conversation. And now it says I have no requests to join. Now it's telling me that you're unable to join. Well, all right. Hello, hello. Hi there. So JW, okay, I see you trying to get in again. I hope it works this time. Go live with the cookie jar book. I think I got it this
All
time.
right, here we are. Can you hear me?
Here we are. I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Can't see me. All right, hang on.
Now I can see you. I saw you for a minute and then you popped off. All right.
All right,
Here
we
we
live.
are.
We're live now. All
I'm so glad that you're in. It's successful. I was just saying, after 10 weeks, you would think I'd have this down pat.
right.
But anyway, thank you so much for joining you. And thank you to everyone for joining me, KP Carter, the Literacy Whisperer. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to week 10 of the Lit Life series. So, those of you who are new, I just want to share a little bit about myself. I'm KP Carter, Catherine Carter, the Literacy Whisperer, and I am an educational consultant and an author of a children's book series, Lizzie B. Hayes Children's Book Series. I've been in education for over 35 years as a classroom teacher, reading specialist, and before I retired, I was the director for language arts and testing for my district. And I started the Lit Life series 10 weeks ago because I wanted to introduce all of you to amazing authors, absolutely amazing authors, and share literacy information with you to help your children become better readers. So tonight, I'm so excited because I have a friend that I've never met before, but we're friends now, J.W. Mettle, who is an educator and a children's book author. So, J.W., why don't you share with us some things about yourself? Tell us about yourself and your books.
Sure. First of all, just thank you for having me. It's extremely humbling, and I'm thankful to be on. Thankful to have a project that I can share with everybody. So yeah, you just explained it. Name is J.W. Metal. My friends and family know me as Joe. What about myself? So I do quite a few things. I'm an entrepreneur, number one. I'm an author and creator, obviously, and thankfully. And as you mentioned, I'm in the education field as well. So been in education for quite some time. Uh, Taught, have been in the classroom, have been a manager, a leader, all those things in between. And currently, I work in career counseling work with career counseling for individuals that are 18 to 24. So anybody that's in high school, about to finish high school and going into a post-secondary career. So I've been doing that for quite some time. And, education bleeds into a lot of things that I do in my life, obviously. And, writing books is one of them. So that's me in a nutshell. I can go on and on, but I don't want to bore anybody.
Well, you're here to go on and on. It's okay. Tell us about your book, The Cookie Jar Book.
Absolutely. This is a book, children's book, anywhere between ages 5 to 8, but obviously there's something in it for anyone. Um, Cookie Jar book named after some real life elements and real life stories and characters in my life and in my younger life. And the crux of the book is around based around an individual named Kari. He's the main character, a crowned young man with a smile, and his grandmother. And within this story, there are many valuable lessons about literacy, education, uh, family values, and also, the main idea is just believing in yourself and knowing that you have greatness within inside you, and also respecting your elders and knowing that without them, you wouldn't be where you are and you wouldn't know the things that you know.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I want to know more. Why did you decide to write about family values? Why is that important to you?
Yeah, great question. Number one, family is everything to me. Family, friends. I also consider my friends family, and shout out to them. I see quite a few of them listening, so thank you for supporting me and being here. But family is everything to me, and stories about my family are very important to me. In particular, this story is based on a character that's similar to my grandmother, who was and still is a cornerstone in my family and played a huge role in my development and my family's development as well. Uh, Life lessons, I think, are important, and especially in today's society, just because everything is moving so fast, right? So, in the age of social media, Instagram that we're on right now, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, everything in between, everything moves so fast and is immediate. And I think sometimes, just as a society, uh, we kind of over don't really take advantage or don't really understand the importance of morals and truth and integrity and a foundation, a strong foundation. Um, and a lot of times you get that from the people that are around you, in your immediate household, in your life, can be your family, can be your immediate friends, your guardians. So that's why I really thought it was important to create this book. And interestingly enough, I had this idea in my mind for quite some time, but as you know, we experienced a crazy pandemic not too long ago, and it really gave us the opportunity to really slow down because we had no choice. And during that time, I really sat down and put all this together and came up with the story. And thankful that it's out. Also want to shout out all the people that helped me make this project possible. Newman Springs, who hopefully is listening right now. That's my publishing team, and my publishing director Lee. Been a tremendous partner in creating this.
I love that you thank the people that are helping you. That's very important. And you said something that really strikes me about grandmothers. My main character, I'll talk about her later, but she has a very special relationship with her grandmother as well. And her grandmother was in the book, she's the cornerstone of her family as well. So it's important to write about those people who form us, who shape us into the people that we become. So now, can you share one or two tips with parents who are listening, who may not be on now, but who will be on watching the replay? Some tips about reading or like reading literacy. What can you share with us?
Oh wow, great question. And you know, reading is just the basis of all learning, right? So, you know, one or two tips. Number one, just to read, to the young people in your lives, just to read in general, right? Even as grown adults, it's important to read, continue to read, develop yourself, continue to learn new vocabulary, um, and read things that are interesting to you and help you develop overall. But in terms of pointers for parents, and you know, shout out to all my parents on here. I have young children as well. Read to them on a regular basis. So important. Reading just stimulates creativity. It stimulates curiosity. It also just helps young adults and young people expand their minds and realize what potential is out there, even from a small story. You know, my godson, shout out to Joe. He's big into Marvel characters and cartoons and all those things. So uh, him reading books and having books in front of him, it just helps stimulate his creativity, and it also just creates a strong foundation for learning. When you are reading and literate, it just helps you learn other things, right? So when you're growing up in school, growing up in elementary school, it's the foundation of all things. And I encourage all parents, guardians, anybody that has young children in their life to get them books, read them books, spend time with them, um, and enjoy reading. One personal lesson is my mother, and shout out to my mother. Hopefully, she was able to navigate to get on. Uh, you know, some of my earliest memories are around her reading to me. You know, we come from humble beginnings, and but she always had books. And shout out to her because she was a librarian and a librarian all her life, from you know, a public library rather, to university, and she cultivated learning in my immediate household, reading, and it just plants a seed of creativity and curiosity.
So those were fantastic tips to share because reading is the foundation of everything. I remember many years ago when I used to visit children in junior high school classes, I would tell them, well, junior high school and high school, if you want to learn how to drive, you're going to have to read that driver's manual. So that would make them laugh. That lets them know reading is the foundation for everything. There's nothing that you can do that's not based on reading. Thank you for sharing that. Can you tell us what's next for you?
Absolutely. And before I answer that question, I also just want to say, like, it's never too late to learn how to read either, right? And learn how to read better. Also want to say that because that's super important. Just in my career as being an educator and being in the classroom, you know, there would be instances where individuals weren't as strong in reading, but I'll always encourage them to read anyway because practice makes permanent. You know, reading helps you read better, and no matter what level that you're on, it's never too late. And you can always read on any level, even if you're starting out from elementary level. So just want to put that out there. What's next for me? So many things. You know, creating this book really helped me to realize that all things are possible. I mean, we know that all things are possible through, the higher powers that be, and the guidance and the resources that are around you. But creating something that out of an idea really made me realize that there's a lot of things out here for me to do. I have many projects that are lined up. As I mentioned, I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm really into creating businesses that have positive impact in society across, multiple platforms, including books. Um, Also working on extension projects around this particular book. Have animation, short animation piece that accompanies this cookie jar book. Shout out to 3MK Studios. They helped me create the animation. It's on the IG link tree. It's also on YouTube for anybody to watch and to share. Um, Also working on another project, book related. There's going to be another installment of the main character Kari that's coming soon. So that will be interesting. So look out for that. It's going to be a little bit more robust, and there'll be some new characters and some familiar characters in this next installment. So that's coming soon, and just continuing to make a positive impact wherever I can. That's what's next for me.
That thank you for sharing that. And someone made a comment that they love it. Practice makes permanent. I love that too. I always say practice makes progress. I hate that term, practice makes I can't even, I think I've blocked it out of my mind with what most people say.
Right.
Practice makes permanent.
Right.
Love it.
Right.
So
I can't take credit for that. There's a very influential person in my life right now who's coaching me on certain things. So shout out to her for that phrase.
okay. All right. So tell us, where can we get your books?
Absolutely. So thankful to say that it's on Amazon. You can go online and get the book on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes and Nobles online, Target.com, Apple iTunes, Biblio.com also. And if you want to actually find it in the store, I'm proud to say that it is in Indigo Bookstore in Short Hills Mall. Um, for any of those platforms, you can find it. Yeah, and please continue to support it. Buy copies. Give them to the young people in your life, to your family members. And also want to say there's a component in the book that I really like, and I think it's an important thing to include. Toward the back, there are lessons. There are lessons in pretty much a check for understanding in regard to the story. Because as you mentioned, giving tips about reading to parents. Reading is great, but oftentimes it's important to help young folks understand what they took from the story, and everybody's going to get something different. So there's some similar questions asking about what lessons they're taking away from the story, and some practice around math and other things to make it a complete project.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful, having that comprehension check. I think you are speaking my language. You're speaking my
Absolutely.
language. So I love it. You're in so many places, and don't worry, I'm going to put all of this in the comments, in the caption. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target, Apple, iTunes, and the Indigo. I'm trying to remember where the Indigo bookstore is. I'm from New Jersey. I don't live there anymore, but um, that's a good thing that you're in a brick and mortar place. Yes.
Yeah, shout out to them. And everything happens by support and other people. And I got to shout out my sister, who I believe is on here. She connected me with a good friend of hers that actually works at the store in Short Hills, and that's how we got connected. And they put the book on the shelves. And Indigo is a big store, has multiple items in it, but it also has a section for books. And yeah, so I'm super thankful for that. Just humbling all the way around.
Yes, that's big. You're getting congratulations and big ups for that. Fire symbols. Yes.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
Yes.
it.
So I'm going to put all of this in the caption. If you didn't get it, folks, don't worry. It'll be there. So thank you. And oh, you have folks that are proud of you. Yes, it is a wonderful thing that you're doing to be an entrepreneur and a young man. You look about the age of my oldest son. So I'm proud of you myself.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're
Thank you.
welcome. So I just want to talk a little bit about my projects that I'm working on. Um, as I said earlier, I am the author of the Lizzie Behave series, and I'm in the midst of a relaunch for my first book. It's a series for children ages 8 to 12, and book one is Summertime with Lizzie Behaves. That is the book that is going to relaunch this summer of 2022. And people have asked me, well, why are you relaunching the book? Well, I figured that time has passed. things have happened in our world, and I just wanted to refresh the story. And so that's what I decided to do. And so if you don't know who Lizzie B. Hayes is, let me show my shirt. This is the shirt from
Okay.
my school district, that the last school district that I worked in. We had a writing festival, and Lizzie was the star of the show that year. Lizzie B. Hayes is a little girl, 8 years old, and she's smart as a whip. She loves basketball because her dad loves the New York Knickerbockers. Well, let me break it down. The story is set during the 1960s. And so, back in those times, the Knicks were a pretty big deal. So I'll leave it at that. She loves to roller skate. She loves, I think I said playing jacks. She's just a fun girl. All of this takes place during the summer of the 1967 rebellion or riot or revolution, whatever people want to call it, that happened in Newark, New Jersey. She and 3 generations of her colorful family are in the middle of this story. So she lives with her extended family because her parents are divorced. And many children have that experience. But she always has dreams of her parents getting back together. Most children kind of think that way as well. And Lizzie B, I think the other day I shared something on my page about her hair. She loves her natural hair, but back in the 60s, well, you might not know it back in the 60s. I don't think you were around in the 60s. But perms and the pressing curl, that was the thing to do. She wanted her hair to be natural. And so I was sharing that little bit about her character on my page the other day. And a life lesson that Lizzie learns from her grandmother is about reading, because her grandmother, even though the term reading role model, that wasn't even a term back then, but her grandmother was a reading role model for her. She was always reading either the Star Ledger or the Newark Evening News. And so she shared with Lizzie and her 2 cousins, Shushu and Mookie, the importance of reading. I also just wanted to come back to the story and share more about Lizzie's character, more about children from divorce, more about the city of Newark. The city of Newark, I grew up there, and I think I turned out pretty good. But as you know, many people know, there are some negative connotations about Newark. But I just wrote a story about ordinary people living their ordinary lives during an extraordinary time period. So I'm hoping that folks will want to know more about Lizzie B and know more about the city of Newark during the 60s. And so I'm looking forward to that coming out the end of this summer. So now, JW, I want to thank you for being with me tonight. Do you have anything else that you want to share?
Absolutely. Number one, I want to shout out to you, for the relaunch, and I think it's an excellent idea, an amazing idea that you're relaunching or rebranding the book and bringing it back. Um, Everything that you talked about in regard to the character and the fundamentals around it, even the history around it, is super important. Um, there's always story to be told, and a lot of us, have different situations, especially growing up, and especially you mentioned divorce and separation and different elements in households. So it's always good for young people to see different representation and realize that whatever their situation may be, somebody else has a similar experience and that they're not alone. So thank you for sharing that. It's super important. And yo, big shout out to North. A large part
Yes.
of my education career is based in Newark, and been
Okay.
working with several different components in Newark and different organizations in education in Newark. So I'm very familiar, and yes, you did turn out amazing, and North turns out
Thank you
amazing,
very much.
amazing people. So yeah, shout out to you. Looking super forward to the relaunch and supporting that as well, and all the other extension projects you have off of that. Anything else I want to share? I just want to thank everybody that's on here. I want to thank you. I have to shout out my good friend and homegirl Dasha Ray for connecting us both, and shout out to her for connecting us and making this happen. Super humbled and thankful once again to share my project, and thank you for choosing me to talk about it, and just hope to continue to spread more positivity just as you are. And a lot of people stand on the shoulders of the people that came before them, and that's testament to everyone, including yourself, for writing books and opening doors for people like me to write books as well. So thank you. Oh, last thing I want to say is just positive vibes just to all, right? Just a crazy time in our country. So, just want to, send vibes of peace. Prayers to all that are going through struggles and loss in this time. And, you know, just want to say respect all cultures, right? Respect all rights, and continue to spread positivity.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And on that note, until next time, next week, I wish you love, laughter, and literacy. Good night.
Good night, all. Thank you so much.